Hi, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about making a one-colored stencil, and I'm going to show you how to make a one-colored stencil using Pixlr. However, you can use any app that you'd like. This does look like it's more than one color because you'll see that the red is sprayed also, but in fact this is just one layer, so it's considered a one-colored stencil. You'll see in this video how to stencilize. In this example, you can see that all of the white in the final spray is connected. Here's my example of Frida, and again you'll see all of the white is connected through channels. These channels are the stencilization, and they're important in order to keep your black in place and for keeping the shape of your stencil. You'll see all the white is connected, and I want to have the strongest areas of connection possible. So I'm going to first trim down my picture of Frida in Pixlr. Of course, you're free to use whatever stencil you're creating, but for this project I am using Frida because I always use Frida for examples. And I'm trimming down my background. Now I'm going to erase the background. You can use the magic erase or magic wand tool if you'd like to. You can also use the erase tool. Depends on what look you're going after and how much you need to erase and that sort of thing. But this is using the magic wand. Oops, I have to unlock it. Unlock. And then go ahead and just erase all of the Pixlr kind of moved things around. I have to deselect in order to get this to erase. So find the new deselect section. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. We'll just trim it down first and crop it as close as possible, and then use the magic wand, use the eraser tool. I want to shrink my eraser to get really close to my subject here. You want to make sure that you don't erase any of your subject. It's fine. I'm just going to scroll in a little bit. You don't want to erase any of your subject. It's okay to leave a little of the background, and you can go back and clean that out. But you don't want to crop off an ear or anything like that. You want to make sure that you get very close to your subject without erasing the subject itself. Okay, now all background is removed, and I can move in to desaturate my stencil, desaturated. And for this one, I can continue to adjust the brightness and contrast level to make it pure black and white. But because this is such a high contrast already, I think I'm probably able to just go ahead and put a threshold on it. When I say black and white, that means absolutely no shades of gray. You will see there's no ambiguity of what is black and what is white in this. And of course, you know the checkered background means it's invisible. So I'm applying a threshold on mine. And now I'm ready to begin stencilizing. I'm going to do some editing first of all because Frida needs to have a unibrow, and you can see that her eyebrows are now 2 eyebrows, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my paintbrush to add a little more eyebrow back in. And you can adjust the size of your brush to whatever you need. Smaller, bigger, or the texture of your brush, you can decide whatever works for your particular composition. But I'm going to go ahead and put her eyebrow back in, trying to adjust my brush just right. And I might have overdone it, so I'm going to adjust back, and I want to make sure that I'm leaving a little bit of white between everything, because I want to make sure I can stencilize. I'm going to consider my background white, even though it's obviously transparent, and I want to make sure all the white is connected. If the white is not connected, then when I cut it out, my stencil is going to fall apart. I want to make sure everything is connected. So even though she has a unibrow, I'm leaving a little bit of space between her brows. I'm adding some white around the edges of the black so that her face doesn't fall out when I cut it out, because it's surrounded by black, which will be removed. All the black in this stencil will be removed. So I'm connecting to make sure all the white is connected. If the white is surrounded by black, again, it will fall apart. So I want to make sure all my white areas are completely connected. Sometimes the little shine in the eye and things like that are almost impossible, so you'll just have to make some artistic decisions whether or not to leave those things out. But you want to make sure all the white is connected. Really, really important for the success of your stencil. And you want to make sure that it's connected in a way that it's inconspicuous. So you want it to look like it's natural, and finding some good connection points that are very natural looking, the part of her hair, where her ears are at, things like that around the eyebrows. So keeping the integrity of your image and stencilizing it, making sure it's going to be a stencil that lasts, because that's the beauty of stencils.